Will Apple be the world's first trillion-dollar company in a year? I'm here with FBR Capital analyst Dan Ives, who just initiated coverage of Apple with an OUTPERFORM rating and a 12-month price target of $185, reflecting a market cap of more than $1 trillion. So Dan, right now you have the highest price target on Apple shares. What do you expect to push Apple to that mark within a year?
We really believe the eye-opener and really the golden jewel of Apple is going to be on the services software piece. That's really where you see some significant gross margin expansion over the next few years, and that's around Apple Pay. That's around a watch and the wearables, as well as ultimately what we think is going to happen with China, as well as just Apple TV and the streaming. I think that's really something investors have underappreciated, and I think that could add up to $2 in earnings going in 2017, which would really be the fuel in the tank.
So what are your expectations for the hardware side, as that's been where the company has derived most of its revenues, especially in light of new devices like the Apple Watch?
I think near term that's going to continue to stay white hot, not just this quarter in terms of expectations for another massive quarter a week from Monday. So I think hardware in the near term, you're going to continue to see massive iPhone shipments. But the thing is, again, in 2016, that's where software takes over the baton and really adds a lot of the juice to margins in the top line.
How do you expect that shift to take place as it goes from a primarily hardware-based company to more one that focuses on services like Apple Pay, like this potential streaming TV service?
Yeah, I think the beauty is right now you have the iPhone 6 shipments, and you have these product cycles that are really giving this type of mid to high 20% growth. And then I think you've already started to see the transition, but it really starts to show up in numbers over the next 12 to 18 months. And that's why when you look at a 6% grower for Apple in 2016, we view that as massively conservative. Ultimately, I think that could be double digits. Gross margin is going to be the key. So I still think we're in the third, fourth inning of this playing out. Now it's really about Apple gaining where the puck's going. You look at China, you look at wearables, which we view as a $20 billion market opportunity. I still think it's early days in terms of the next generation areas.
And there are skeptics who say Apple's growth is unsustainable. There's even been talk of lower level of innovation at the company. What do you say to all of that?
I mean, those are the same skeptics that were still walking around with BlackBerries. And I think part of the issue there is that it continues to defy the skeptics. 1 billion iOS devices sold to date, the gold standard within technology. And ultimately, I think that it's going to move more not just to the enterprise, but all to different areas of the consumer in terms of wearables, in terms of China, and in terms of Apple Pay, where I think Apple's going to become that much more entrenched in the consumer. Those are the same skeptics that, before the split, they would say that, Apple's best days are ahead, and now, they've seen the pain in terms of not owning this name over the last year and a half.
All right. Thank you so much, Dan Ives, Managing Director at FBR Capital.
Great to be here. Thanks.
And I'm Brittany Humar for The Street.